Elijah Cummings has passed away. Now, Elijah Cummings has never been a guy that I've agreed with politically, but I've had respect for Elijah Cummings and what he has accomplished in his life. Let me just give you a little bit here. Democratic congressman from Maryland who gained national attention for his principled stance on politically charged issues in the House, his calming effect on anti-police riots in Baltimore. He died Thursday morning at Gilchrist Hospital Care, Johns Hopkins affiliate in Baltimore. He was 68. After undergoing an unspecified medical procedure, the Democratic leader did not return to his office this week, according to The Sun. A statement from his office says he passed away due to complications concerning a long-standing health challenge. Mr. Cummings was the chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee and a leading figure in the Trump impeachment inquiry. Born to a family in southern sharecroppers and Baptist preachers, he grew up in a racially fractured Baltimore in the 50s and 60s. At 11, he helped integrate a local swimming pool while being attacked with bottles and rocks. Perry Mason, the popular TV series about fictional defense lawyer, inspired him to enter the legal profession. Many men in my neighborhood were going to reform school. Though I didn't completely know what reform school was, I knew that Perry Mason won a lot of cases. I also thought that these young men probably needed lawyers. He became the youngest chairman of the Legislative Black Caucus, yada, yada, yada. He has been a force for good much of his life. He has also taken stands as a legislator that I disagree with. But I think this is an insult from the Washington Post. Washington Post, Representative Elijah Cummings, Democratic leader and regular Trump target, dies at 68. You know, I was a target of the president. He was a target of mine for a while. If I die today and somebody writes about that in the headline, really, that's what my life was worth? My life was worth that? I'm not 68. He was 68. He's done many, many things that I can't even come close to accomplishing. And that's the way the Post honors him? I think it's an insult. Our condolences to his family. And it is a loss to the country. Now, let me talk about the Post and the mainstream media. He was a regular Trump target? What do you mean by that? Are you saying the president was targeting him? Did the president kill him? It's an undisclosed problem. Was he shot by the president? Because I know we're not supposed to use the word target. Whoa, we learned our lesson, didn't we? Mainstream media. We don't ever use the word target as some way of saying, hey, we should look into this, or we should focus our energies here, or we're talking about this particular person. No. In the mainstream media, we all learned our lesson that targeting somebody only means killing them. Now, I hope, Washington Post, that you understand by using the words target that Trump targeted him, you are encouraging somebody out there to target him still. I hope they have security on the gravestone because somebody might just shoot it up, even though he's already dead, because you use the word target. Seems ridiculous, doesn't it, Washington Post? I am so tired. It's a waste of energy to talk about these people, to talk about their hypocrisy. I listened to the New York Times Daily this morning. Blood was shooting out of my eye. I want you to know the only reason why I listen to it, the only reason why I read this crap is so you don't have to. I want to know what the other side is saying. I want to understand their argument. I want to understand where they're coming from, and they just can't see their own hypocrisy. Go ahead, call me a hypocrite on anything. Oh, Glenn Beck, he was against Donald Trump when he was running. Now his business was falling apart, and so no, that wasn't it. I told you during the campaign. If the guy is doing these policies, I'll be the first to say it. I don't sign on for everything on Donald Trump. I think the guy is a really flawed human being. You'll notice Donald Trump doesn't retweet anything that we've done. He's not even mentioned the chalkboard, which is a great help to him. You know why he doesn't? Because he doesn't trust me. I'm not in his pocket. Isn't that a wonderful place to be? Yes. You know why the Washington Post doesn't like to do things? You know why Google is changing the algorithm to keep things that I produce out of the mainstream? Because they don't trust me. They don't know if I'm an ally or an enemy. What a wonderful place to be. You know how you get there? You call balls and strikes. The hypocrisy this morning of the New York Times to talk about how we've been predicting this, all of the things. I mean, honest to God, they sounded like they were all of a sudden into predictions. We know they don't like predictions. We know that that's conspiracy theories. If you just take things and do math and take people at their word, you can't talk about those things. Those are crazy ideas. No. Today they were talking about Syria and Turkey and how they predicted all of this. This was so easy to see. Really? Was it? Yeah. Everybody on earth, including the White House, saw this mess coming. Everybody saw that. What you'll forget is that many of us a long time ago in almost a dream world now. It's so far away, I can't even remember it. What was his name? Did they even have sound and talkies in the movie theater when Barack Obama was in office? Do you remember when some of us said, don't get into bed with these Kurds? These Kurds are not the Kurds in Iran, in Iraq. These are bad Kurds. These are communist Kurds. These are terrorist Kurds. And John McCain stood up and told all of us, oh no, these are good guys. I remember being on the air at the time saying, no, these aren't good guys. These are bad guys. And we're going to do the same damn thing that we did in Afghanistan with Osama bin Laden. We're going to teach them, we're going to arm them, and they're going to turn against us. Don't do it. Bad. Do you remember? You know what? Do you know what the New York Times actually said today? What you have to understand is the Middle East doesn't like a vacuum. If you destabilize a region, well, somebody will grow to fill that. Really? Like in Egypt? Like in Libya? Like in Syria? Like in Iraq and Afghanistan? Yeah. It only took us 2 countries to figure it out. You on the left still haven't figured it out. No, you do now. You say you do now. But you're only saying that because it's a way to go against Donald Trump. If you want to go against Donald Trump, go against him on something real and something that is actually something you believe in. Oh, we've got to stop. We have to end these wars. Barack Obama is so wonderful. He wants to end these wars. What do you mean pulling out of Iraq would cause all kinds of problems? No, we have to. He's just trying to bring the troops home. Oh, and then there was problems. Well, of course there's going to be problems, but we have to end these wars. Here's a guy who actually is a dove. Here's a guy, his whole life. There's two things I know Donald Trump believes. Well, three. Himself. He believes in himself. Got it. Two, he believes in trade wars. Got it. He's believed in him his whole life. Number three, he doesn't believe in war. His whole life, he has been against almost every war we've ever seen in my lifetime. And he's been on the record. So he's your dove, left. He's the one you've been looking for. He's actually doing what Barack Obama promised he would do. And now you don't like it? Oh, yes, because the Middle East, it doesn't like a vacuum. Really? Why didn't you tell that to Hillary Clinton when she said, we came, we conquered, he died, about Gotti, what's his name in Libya? Gaddafi. Why didn't you talk to her about that? Why don't you talk to what was her name? Samantha. She's the wife of the woman, the wife of the guy who wrote Nudge. I haven't talked about her for a while. Samantha somebody or other. Cass Sunstein's wife. She was the one who was pushing for the instability. Don't talk to me about this, Google and Facebook. You're the ones who intentionally lit the Middle East on fire. And don't say you didn't, because we know, because you were very, very proud of the role you played in the Arab Spring. So don't, please. If you want to come to me and say, hey, we were part of this, like I will, I'll come to you. Hey, I was actually for the war in Iraq because I know that the real danger there is Iran. And I thought we were going to pop the head of the snake. Well, it didn't turn out that way. Boy, I was wrong. Have you heard anybody in the media say that about the Arab Spring, about Libya, about Syria, about getting into bed and arming these people? No, of course not. Because they're all frauds. I know why I'm listening to them. I'm listening to them because that's part of my job. I just don't know why other Americans still listen to them.